Alright, so this is a CMP replacement stock. I got this off a friend of mine who just hated the new stock. He originally gave it to me to fit it better, and I ended up just trading him for another stock I had that he liked. And he just liked the looks. He doesn't shoot, he just likes to look at it and say, I got one. So the stock I gave him, I don't even know if it was a surplus stock or an old. It had no markings. It's been sanded to hell, but it looked pretty rough and beat up and aged, so he liked it. Anyway, so you can see these light marks. This is where I sanded. I got this little bit, just happened to be in a box of many bits I have for a Dremel tool, and I randomly pick up Dremel bits at yard sales. It's always tons of them, it seems. This is where the firing pin will hit, and I just grind that out a little. You'll see it, it'll be dented. I've yet to see a stock yet that doesn't have a little dent, so it makes its own clearance eventually, but I like to just get rid of it, give it a little clearance. Now this is for stocks that have no value. I wouldn't do this to a nice World War II clear cartouche marked stock, just wouldn't do it. And here, this is where your clip latch is. A lot of the new Boyd stocks, this isn't cut deep enough, and you'll actually see where the clip latch will hit either here, or sometimes they cut so poorly they hit down here because they're not cut deep enough. And you'll see it, there'll be a nice glossy dent here or in this area here, and that just causes all kinds of problems when that clip latch can't move freely. And this is the area where you get that little relief under the receiver. I don't know how to tell you to measure that, other than it's just a feel. Again, I'd say a thin business card. When you install it, you can see the light through it, but you can't get a piece of paper in there. And of course, where the op rod rides, always hits. This one was hitting pretty bad when he first got it, and we shaved it down real quick, and when he gave it back, you could see the track marks where it was still rubbing, a little here and a little up in this area. And I just took some 180 grit and ran it down and got rid of it. I cleaned up the channels a little bit. This side was a little close, but it wasn't touching, so I got rid of it anyway. I shoot left-handed, so I could potentially pull that stock with the sling and hit the barrel, so I just hit it with a quick knife. Just took a razor knife and just sliced it off. Just caught an edge and sliced it, and then just dressed it up with the sandpaper a little bit. But I don't know, not quite a 45-degree angle, more like a 30-degree angle, and just hit it with a sander. You know, a block sander, small block sander, and just did away with it. Same thing here. I found I think it's a piece of oak. I don't know what it is, but it was just wide enough and probably about 7-8 inches long, and I just held it on there flat and went back and forth until I thought I removed enough, and that feels about the same as my other stocks. If you take a close look at a Boyd's up against a USGI, you'll see a lot of shortcomings with the Boyd's. But then again, they're only $100 and some odd stock, so I don't know what you really expect. I don't touch any of this. I look to see if the trigger's hitting. The trigger will hit the bottom of the wood here sometimes. A lot of the Boyd's have plenty of meat taken out of here. And then the only other thing I do really, and I've only had one stock, a Boyd stock, that was kind of messed up. Just push your trigger group in there, and it should fit flush. I mean, it shouldn't rock around or move. Yeah, it should be flush. if you push here and it lifts up on this end, you know there's something just not sitting flush. Same thing here. You push here and that back of that trigger group comes up, you know it's not fitting flush. You can use inlet black or lipstick on everything, but we're not getting that crazy. We're not talking about building sub MOA match guns here. It's a 10 ring Garand, so make sure you get no slop there. In the future, after I'm done getting this thing shooting well, I might sand this stock down again. We put tung oil on it. Well, he did, and he did a pretty good job. Said he put 2 or 3 coats, but I had sanded it before he put tung oil on it, and I brought it down to, I think, 380 or 320, and I don't know, I think that's just smooth enough. I mean, after you put a few coats of tung oil, you can hit it with 800 and give it like a buff. You're not even cutting into the wood at that point. You're just smoothing off the surface a bit. So So as you can see, where the clip latch goes through, it's a tight fit. And oftentimes that wood's just not cut deep enough, and it interferes with the clip latch. Now, I don't know if you can pick up that gap or not. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. My camera stinks, so it's not going to pick up that gap. But as you can see, that's about where you want it. I don't know what the meaning is behind the gap, other than it causes some sort of spring release or something, or spring tension on the receiver, and it just helps it sit better. And that's about it. So we're about ready to go for the rest of the testing on this thing. And it's amazing. Let me see if I can get a better shot of the op rod. You would think that it wouldn't hit even with that much sand. I always check the top too. Top's not hitting. But it's amazing how much this op rod will flop up and down and actually hit. So I took a little more off. I mean, just a little. I mean, really, that's the pile of sawdust that came off it. I mean, it's not much. Enough to make a difference. Now I'm going to have to address this area here. I'm not too happy with this clearance. Although the business card will fit in there, I think it's just a little tight. I'd like to open that up a little. So I'll file these flats down along here. This side's a little better. But I'll sand it down a little bit and get some breathing room in there. And then we should be good to go for the testing. And then I'll develop a load for this rifle, and I'm going to try to stay low on the powder charge. See how low and accurate it can get. Okay, I'm all ready. I got clearance here. I got to peel the tape off there.